Warren Buffett just bet nearly $1 billion on two of America's most controversial home builders, companies known for building what some call disposable houses. That's right, while everyone else is panicking about a housing crash, Berkshire Hathaway quietly accumulated $800 million worth of Lennar stock and another $191 million in D.R. Horton shares during the first half of 2025. But here is what should really blow your mind. These builders aren't making most of their money selling homes anymore. They're becoming America's biggest landlords through something called build to rent, and the numbers are absolutely staggering. The build-to-rent sector has exploded by 270% since 2019, with these companies now controlling over 350,000 rental homes across America. What if I told you that D.R. Horton and Lennar don't actually care if you can afford to buy their homes anymore? What if their entire business model has shifted to something far more profitable? And what if the housing shortage everyone's talking about is actually their golden ticket to decades of guaranteed profits?
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got an interesting video for you today. There's a lot of videos and information online talking about the housing market crash. Are we in a bubble? In essence, where are we? Because there's a lot of folks on the sideline that are able and willing to buy, but they're stuck. And so the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett and his crew invested a significant amount of money into the housing sector, D.R. Horton and Lennar specifically. The reason that's important is because whenever a large amount of money is injected into a sector, you got to pay attention, especially with who the person or the entity that the person represents, Warren Buffett, is. And so hopefully by the end of this video, we'll give you some more information to help you make that decision. So watch this video. Don't take it personally. Just determine what you want to do. Do you want to rent? Do you want to buy? It doesn't really matter because you'll see someone's going to benefit. Hopefully you want that someone to be you. Before we go any further, my name is Robert, and on this channel, my goal is to simplify the home loan process. I'm also a lender, so if you need help with any residential real estate financing throughout these United States, my contact information is pinned either in the top comment or for sure in the description below. Now let's get into this video.
Think about this for a second. Mortgage rates are sitting at 6.58% according to Freddie Mac's latest data. First-time buyers now make up only 24% of the market, the lowest share since 1981. So why on earth would anyone buy home builder stocks right now? The average BTR home rents for $2,181 per month according to CBRE's latest data. That's a 10 to 40% premium over comparable apartments. And get this, they're maintaining 97% occupancy rates with only 28 to 35% annual turnover, way better than traditional apartments. Stop and think about what this means. These builders get bulk sales to institutional investors, guaranteed buyers for entire developments, and they're building exactly what renters want: single-family homes with yards in good school districts. Everyone's focused on whether we're in a housing bubble, but that's the wrong question. The real question is, what happens when an entire generation can't afford to buy homes? According to the National Association of Realtors, only 6 million of America's 46 million renters can actually afford to buy a median-priced home right now. The required annual income to afford that median home? $126,700. Meanwhile, 31.3% of all households are already cost-burdened, spending more than 30% of their income on housing. When home ownership becomes impossible for most Americans, what's the alternative? Renting.
There was a lot of information going quickly, and you guys know me, I want to slow it down so that we can digest this meal properly. 31% of the available buying pool out of 46 million renters have already surpassed that magic number, that 30% of the income as far as shelter and housing is concerned. And if you're a millennial or someone that fits in that cohort, I hear you already. It's everyone else is to blame. I'm going to take the opposite side. There's some of that when it comes to affordability, but we have to learn how to be held accountable. Let me give you an example. I'm helping a young man right now. I'm actually not doing the loan, but I'm advising him as to if he should move up. Okay. And so he's a millennial, one child, one on the way, married, really the only income. So in order for him to move forward to look at this purchase, because the original purchase price was $534 or in the 500s. Okay. So that exceeds the median household price. And I want you guys to stay with me because I'm going to make a point about the median and the average here in a minute. But so he's skewing towards where all the numbers are talking about. And here's my point with that. I told him, hey, you got to get rid of the car payments. Car payments are really what's eating up a lot of your disposable income. And nobody wants to talk about it. So what happens is the easy thing is to go get a car. Some of these car payments are house payments. They're crazy. And you don't realize the amount of wealth that it's stealing from you, not just from your future self, but it's preventing you from getting onto the property ladder. So cars, student loan debt. Nobody wants to talk about student loan debt. And then there's a lot of people complaining about it. From this standpoint, if you're someone who has not gone to school, there are other ways to make money, make a lot of money. You can do what you want to do without amassing the debt that you have, or a lot of folks have amassed here recently. And I think I might try to find this quote, maybe not a quote, but a comment. And the gentleman was spot on. A lot of you guys are financing your living, not thinking about the future ramifications. So cars, student loans, and then the last thing is consumption. At some point in time, you have to learn how to live at or beneath your means. So that's why Warren Buffett or people that have money see an opportunity, okay? Because all good investors say, you know what? There's a moat around this problem that if we inject the money, we can solve it for a lot of people and make a lot of money. It's what it is. It's called capitalism. You could do it too. Number 4 is you're not making enough money. And there's only a couple of ways to deal with that. It's not crying and lamenting and wanting somebody to change it. You have to figure out ways to either increase your income by increasing your skills, investing in your most valuable asset, which is yourself. And there's a lot of ways to do that. But for the purpose of this video, this is why there's no bubble that everybody keeps telling you that there's a bubble. For those that are able and willing and wanting to get on, you're trying to figure out when to jump in. It's like that double dutch. Do I jump in? Well, inventory is starting to rise. That's an indicator of a bottom. But there's still a lot of shortage as far as single family housing is concerned. This is why Warren Buffett last year in the group, they invested a lot, I think, in D.R. Horton. And then they ended up selling their stake at the end of the year, made a lot of money. But now they're back because this model has matured. And it's not just the model. It's you got a bunch of people that can't afford. You want single family, okay, because that was perfect in there. Everybody wants single family at some point in time because you want some space. You're tired of moving. That's just a short period of time. And very few people are the very small percentage of the population that would live on a cruise ship all their life, right? Very, very few people. The majority, you want to put your stuff down and know where it's going to be at, be in a safe, clean place. And if you have kids, you want good schools. And a lot of you guys, when I say you've been conditioned to, oh, it's too hard, I don't want the accountability, you have to understand the trade-off of that is you don't have any ownership. You don't have any say as you manage this investment because you're paying the rent. Somebody's benefiting on the other side. So in this case, these folks come in with the economies of scale. The builders could care less because they build houses. And now if you can't buy them, if I can't buy them individually, then they'll go to an institutional investor that will buy the whole subdivision because these folks, they like their stuff. They don't want to have any responsibility for anything. They said, you know what, make it easy. We got it for you. Just go back in history. Anytime these things have happened in any industry, how has it fared out for us, the people? So here comes Mr. Buffett. There's an opportunity. The vacancy rate is much, much lower than at the apartments because the numbers don't lie. You say what you want to say, but you don't want to live on top of a bunch of people apartment in boxes. That's just for a certain period of time, especially when you start adding to the family. Okay. It's just what it is. And so they have a moat because that extra $300, $2,200 in rent to $2,500, that difference, that delta is the car payment. It's those student loans. It's, I feel like I deserve, so I need to kick it. It's the vacation. Again, do what you want to do. Don't get ticked off. I'm just presenting it to you. And you guys do what you will, right? My mother-in-law says this all the time. This is a t-shirt for somebody. I did it to myself. So if you do whatever you do to yourself, don't complain. For those of you that are on the sideline, if you're listening, contemplate where you are, because really it's a good time to get in, because if interest rates get lower, if we get down into the 5% range, say 5.5%, there's 46 million eligible renters. The millennial cohort is large, and everybody ain't struggling in there. They got a lot of folks that are making over $125,000, especially when you count two incomes. They're just waiting because all of the news and the YouTube videos have done their job. They're scared to what out of them. But what I'm saying to you all out there that have been waiting, get with the lender that you know, like, and trust, and run your numbers. Because that example that I just gave, that same young man put in a crazy offer with a builder, and everything has to be right as far as the circumstances, and they accepted it. And so it looks like he's going to be able to take advantage when a lot of you guys are being scared and you're sitting on the sideline, and you're going to miss yet another opportunity only to wait too long. And then we're going to have the inflation run, because when all of you guys come in that can buy, as soon as rates come down low enough, guess what the home prices are going to do? And the builder don't care, because if you can't buy it, guess who they're going to sell it to? And then you're going to rent it. Let's move forward.
And who's positioned to provide those rentals? The same builders who used to sell you homes. Millennials, who make up 64% of BTR demand, according to industry experts, have a home ownership rate of just 37%. 43% have saved less than $3,000 for a down payment. And for rentals, the calculus completely changes. The institutional investors buying these properties care about one thing: cash flow. If they can buy homes in bulk for $300,000 each and rent them for $2,200 a month, while a regular buyer would need a $2,500 monthly mortgage payment to buy that same home, they're capturing all the people who can afford $2,200 rent but can't qualify or afford the $2,500 mortgage. They're basically printing money. The smart money isn't betting on a housing crash. They're betting on a permanent shift in how Americans live. The American dream of homeownership isn't dying. It's been institutionalized and rented back to us at a premium. So what does this mean for you? Here's the thing. When Warren Buffett's team starts buying home builders after sitting on the sidelines, that's usually a signal that we've hit the bottom. Think about it. Housing inventory is finally rising. Mortgage rates have stabilized, and prices have essentially flatlined in many markets. Could this be the floor everyone's been waiting for? The new reality is that builders and institutional investors won't let prices crash much further. They'll convert unsold homes to rentals before taking losses. So the real question becomes, if Buffett thinks we've bottomed, are you still waiting for prices to crash further? What if they don't crash further? Or is this actually your window to buy before the next cycle starts? Look, we can't tell you what to do, but when the Oracle of Omaha starts betting $1 billion that housing has found its floor, maybe it's time to jump into the market. If you're an investor, pay attention to what Berkshire's doing. They're not betting on home prices or mortgage rates. They're betting on the financialization of American housing. Companies like Lennar and D.R. Horton aren't just home builders anymore. They're becoming integrated real estate platforms that build, sell, and rent, capturing value at every stage. The final piece of this puzzle: the housing shortage isn't going away. We're still 3.9 million units short, according to Freddie Mac. Most of that shortage is in single-family homes, exactly what these builders specialize in. But instead of selling those homes to families, they're increasingly selling them to Wall Street. Warren Buffett's team isn't betting on a housing recovery, they're betting on a housing transformation. The question isn't whether home prices will crash or soar, whether you'll be a buyer, a renter, or an investor in this new reality. The choice, as they say, is yours.
The choice is yours. Eloquently stated, don't have to add on to it. Here's my summary. If you need help understanding your numbers in context with your life where you are today, having some foresight to look forward into the future, 5 to 12 years, Lord willing, we're all still here, to forecast out and then possibly think about an exit strategy, again, based upon where you are on this journey called life, and you want someone to do that. I'm going to raise my hand. First step is with a consultation. Hit the consultation link. Let's have a conversation to see if we're a fit. And if so, let's get to it, man, because I really believe that it's been a bottom. If we could work together, let's do so. And I would be honored and you won't be disappointed. I say that humbly. Everyone else, if you're not ready to make that step yet and you still need to figure out if I'm your guy, watch this next video here. And my time is up, but I thank you for yours. As I always say, guys, let's be good to one another. Let us let grace abound. And until the next time, indeed, y'all stay blessed.